featuring Officer Ingram and Officer Smith.
Male victim, named Randall Johnson, age 37. A jogger found him early this morning. Looks like he was stabbed in the stomach and bled out. Also, look at these scrapes on his hand. Looked like there was some sort of a struggle and he was trying to defend himself. Over here, there's 2 sets of footprints. Only one set matches the shoes the victim was wearing.
And these other ones are around him. Just like the guy just ran around in circles. Killer. These prints are pretty interesting. They're like swing dancers, like pointing. They're really distinct. Like part of the shoe was heavier than the other. Like maybe lead was in the toe or something. I think we should run these prints and maybe get an idea of what kind of shoes these are. What are you looking at?
Oh, I just got the report back on those shoe prints found at the scene of the crime of Randall Johnson. Turns out they're a specialty shoe made for swing dancers by the brand Stacy Adams. They're apparently owned by Weyco Group.
I've heard of Weyco. They make non-bush and porn sheen shoes. They're pretty nice shoes, made with really nice leather.
Yeah, I also pulled some company information right here. Turns out their head office is right here in Milwaukee, and they've had some major issues recently with the economic recession, their lack of advertising, and some recent store closings in the United States and Europe.
And our victim, Randall Johnson, he's the head of Philip Van Houston, one of Weyco's major competitors. I think we need to talk to the president of Weyco.
Okay, yeah, I'll get back to you on that. Sorry to keep you waiting, officers. What can I help you with?
We just need to ask you a few questions about your whereabouts. Last night, around midnight.
I was at home with my wife. You can call her if you want to. I'll give you her number. Can I ask you why you need to know?
It turns out the president of one of your rival companies, Randall Johnson, was murdered last night in the park, and a set of Stacy Adams shoe prints were found all over the scene of the crime. They were very distinct.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but why would I have any need to kill Randall Johnson? We're having a decent year at Weyco. Our company is very strong, and our strengths include a wide variety of shoes with varying prices. Also, we have just recently broken into the Canadian market, and our sales of wholesale shoes are up. We continually pay dividends above our competitors to our shareholders, so I know that they're happy.
Do you have any enemies, or do you know anyone who would want you to go to jail for any reason?
Well, we do have some competition, especially from the brown shoe. Our company does have some weaknesses, including bad sales in our retail stores, which lead to a few store closings in both the U.S. and Europe. We haven't been spending a lot on advertising, and the cost of getting our shoes from independent manufacturers is rising.
Well, if you have anything else, here's my card. Well, it looks like we need to talk to the president of Brown Shoes, Marion Brown.
Let's go pick her up.
Why would I want to hurt Randall Johnson?
Because you knew what you were up against with the problems in the external environment of the shoe industry. The economy is horrible, and there's always a threat of new competitors and changing consumer preferences.
Yes, there's a lot of threats, but there's also a lot of opportunities too. The company could expand globally, or they could increase their product lines to include accessories and clothing. Why on earth would I want to risk all of that?
You knew about Weyco's major issues, and you knew they did too. You knew they had recommendations to fix their major issues, and you wanted them out of the way. You knew if Thomas Florenstein went to jail, his whole company would fail, and you'd be able to take over the market share. Didn't you? Didn't you?
I did it. I killed him. I killed Randall Johnson. But I did it because I knew if Weyco increased their advertising, if they extended their product lines to include athletic shoes and branch out into women's shoes, or even if they sold off their retail stores and focused entirely on departmental stores, I knew that they would succeed, and I knew what that would do to my company. And I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it, so I killed him, and I framed Thomas Florenstein.